Hello, my name is Jack. The Design in Motion Character Kit comes with amazing animations that you can use or adapt or even create your own animation from the scratch. On this video, I want to show you how to do that. The easiest way to create animations on the Design in Motion Character Kit is using models. You can first meet all the models and animations included in this product going to the folder Reference Animations. Then open up the animation guide file. Here I put all the animations that I created for this kit. Using this file, you can choose the animation that you need because you can use this code to find it on the project. There are 3 different categories of models. The first category are the loops. Then we have the actions. And at least the cycles. I will explain ahead how to use every different category of models. Another way to browse the different models is using these diagrams. There is a diagram for the actions, so you can see every single action model and its relationship among them. And a diagram for the cycles and the loops. Let's talk about the actions. I will open up the animation guide file again to watch them. As you can see, the actions code will always start with the letter A. For example, A002 on this case. The actions are animations that always start and stop with the same pose. The first model that we have is the stand still. It's a key model because we can use it to connect different actions and even with cycles. To use an action, use the animation guide to choose it. Then use the code to find it on the project. The left action has the code A006. Now, locate this code on the project and then drag and drop it to the composition that I create for it. That is the Drop Modular Animation Comp. It's an empty composition where you can drop the modular animations. Let's start with the stand still pose. Drag it to the composition. Now, drag the A006 left. At the end, put another stand still action. Working in this way, you can combine different actions. Just drag it to the composition. Let's watch the animation. I cut it off the render time here to be faster. As all the animations start and stop with the same pose, sometimes you may not need this extra time that the stand still model gives to us. On this case, just connect an action to another directly. There are some actions that were made to be extended. These actions are split usually in 3 parts: the start, the cycle, and the stop part. For example, the dancing action. If you want to extend the dance, use it in this way. Drop the first model, the A007.1 dancing start. Now, drop the dancing cycle. You can repeat this model so you can extend the animation as long as you need. Just drag and drop the dancing stop to end this animation and be able to connect to another action, like the stand still. Let's see the whole animation. As you can see on the animation guide, there are different actions that are splitted. You can watch it to understand how it works. Or you can use the diagram actions, where we have all the actions included on the kit. You can use it to understand how it's organized.
The
The cycles are very similar to the actions, but it refers only to run and walk cycle animations. There are two different kinds of run or walk cycles. The front cycle, that is the front view of the animations, and the regular walk or run cycle, that is the side view of the animations. Each one have a different way to work, and I will show to you. The way to work with the cycles is exactly the same as we done with the actions. Just drag and drop it to the composition. Let's start with the C003.1. Drop the start model. Then the cycle. Repeat it as many times as you want. I will repeat 2 times. Now you can use the stop model. You can create a better illusion of movement using a new object to scale all the animation. Just parent all the models to a new object. At the end of the cycle, I will remain the scale as 100%, and at the start, 50%. Now it's done. It's very easy. Watch the animation. Work with regular cycles are very similar to front cycles, but there are some secrets that I want to share with you. Let's start. I will drag the C001.1 to our composition. I will put it on the left, so all the animation will fit on the screen. Now drop the cycle. As we move it the first model, just copy and paste its position to the cycle. Put the stop model and paste the position value to this one too. To add an action to the end of this animation, you will have to adjust its position. You can do this using this number to help. Let's drag the idea action. Now, the position is not fitting, but you can copy and paste the first model position. Then, on this position value, you will add the number that we saw at the walk stop model. It's 731. You must sum it to the original value. All the animations are working together. To extend the animation, duplicate the cycle model. I will drag it to the end for now. Use the veil at the end of the cycle model to adjust the position. To the original position value, you will sum 496. Do the same to the stop model and to the action too. In every cycle, I added these numbers that will help you to get a perfect fit to the animations. It will save you a lot of time. There are some animations that are wider than the screen. On this case, it will not fit with other actions. So I put a number to help you to adjust the position, very similar to what we has done with the cycles. Let me show you. I will drop the stand still action. And now I will find the run cycle start. As you can see, there is a number on its name. If you drop it on the composition, you will not be able to see the character. It's because he's off the screen. Because the animation is so long that I have to make this composition wider. To adjust the position, we will work on the same way that we did before. Just copy and paste the position that we have on the first model. Add to it the number that we find on the name of this model, 1252. Drop the cycle and copy and paste the position from the start model. All the rest works on the same way of the other models. To adjust the position and scale of an entire animation, you need to add a new object and parent all the models to it. Create the new object, select the models, and parent it to the new. Now, when you move and resize the new object, it will change the animation. To extend the run, just repeat the cycle and use the number at the end of the model name to adjust the position. On this case, 2000. And it's done. The loop code will always start with the letter L. The loops are basically the same animation that we can find on some actions or cycles, with the difference that it was made in a way that you can extend as long as you need. The loop has no start and no end, and it will always be at the center of the screen. Use a loop is very easy. With the animation guide, you can choose which one you want to use and use the code to find it on the project. Drag and drop the loop that you want and repeat it as long as you need. Different from actions and cycles that can be combined to each other, the loop just connects to itself. If you want to change or adapt an animation, double-click on it until you get to the character animation composition. On this composition, you can find all the animations that I made for this kit. When you change something here, it will change automatically on the models. I will change the mouth of this character by dragging this controller. Now, on the Drop Modular Animation comp, you can see the new animation. To create a new animation from the scratch, I suggest you to use a clean project. You can find it on the Extra Projects folder. Its name is Design in Motion Base. Open up this file. The project is the same as we saw before, but without the models. To help you to animate your character, we have a user interface. There are two controllers that you can use to adapt your scene. This is the first. I call it All. Drag this controller to move the entire scene around. The other controller will change the Z position of the scene. In other words, it will zoom in or out the scene. The default position of almost all controllers is 0. You must know how to use all the controllers to animate your character. Let's start with the head, with this controller that I called Head Direction. It changed the direction of the head. Head position. When you move it around, it will change the position of the head and the neck will follow it. It's very easy and intuitive to use. Head rotation. This is a very important controller on this project. I call it Body Perspective. When you drag this slider, you can turn the character body around. It gives us an illusion that the character is rotating in a 3D way. Some controllers will be automatically adjusted by the body perspective. You can see that the head controller moved to adjust its rotation. Then we have the body rotation. You can change the shoulder height and rotate them. As you saw on the design tutorial, you can create different eyes and mouth. With these controllers, you can animate them. At the other side of the user interface, we have two columns, one for the left side of the character and another to the right. Here you can control the foot. With the leg and thigh perspective controllers, you will be able to create a sensation of depth. If you want to create the illusion that the leg is folded in front of the character, you can use this controller. This one sets the foot in front or behind the leg. This controller was very useful to create the front walk cycle, for example. If you want to change the leg direction, use this controller. The same for the arms, just drag it. Here we have the arm and the forearm perspective controllers. Works at the same way as the legs. Now for the hands, we can spread the fingers. Rotate the thumb, the hand, and turn it around. You can change the length of the fingers to give an illusion that it's folded. Every finger has a controller. To move around the body parts, drag and drop these controllers. These are for the arms, and these are for the legs. This one moves the body. Now go ahead, create your animation. There is a fast way to find the controller that you are using on the timeline. Just select it on the user interface, then hit Ctrl up and Ctrl down, Command if you are using a Mac. Then press P to show the position keyframes. And this way you can see the controllers and keyframes that you are editing. It's very useful. Well, it's a weird animation, but it's just to see how it works. Work with this user interface on a fast machine will be amazing, you will love it. But if your machine is not that fast, you may have a bad time and you want to kill me. But wait, don't do that. I create an optimized project that you can find on the Extras project folder. It will have the same controllers that we have on the other projects, but it's optimized to run fast. A lot of expressions and pre-comps that I used on the other projects are not present here. Use this project to create your animation. Then you will copy and paste it to the full project. Sometimes you will need copy an animation and paste it in another part of your comp, or even in another project. On this case, download the Duik script on this website. It's free, but I suggest you to donate to them. It's a very useful script. You will love it. After install it, open up on the After Effects. Select all the keyframes of your animation into the very last layer. Click on Animation, then Copy Animation. Now you can paste the entire animation in other part of your character animation composition by clicking on Paste Animation. If you want to paste it in another project, open the project and paste it on the character animation composition. Once you have your animation setted, it's time to render it. Set your in and out point. Then go to Composition, Add to the render queue. I like to use the QuickTime Animation codec. If you don't have the QuickTime installed, you can download it from the Apple website. Here you can set the animation codec. It must be set as RGB plus alpha channel. choose where you want to save it and press Render. It's very important to render with Alpha Channel to be able to replace the background. Working in this way, you can put as many characters as you need on the same scene. Thank you for watching. Take a look at the design tutorial too if you don't saw that yet. Welcome to the Design and Motion Character Kit.